I'm tired of thinking things are meaningless and feeling dreadful. I don't know if I know anything. I just want to die and maybe find out, and that would be alright if only I had done it already. So I often place freedom around my neck to see if I might fly. Whether rational or not, I have long stopped asking. I've looked for answers, and found no good reason to keep asking such questions. I don't care if I make sense anymore. Sense was never a property bestowed upon me, just endless questions and the illusion of sense. How trivial all life events and aspirations seem to me. So much so I can't seem to do what it is I think I want to do. Will I toil another day, just to see my fears materialized? If the past is any indicator, this will surely be the case. The ebb of pleasure, ever patient, and the flow of pain, ever racing. I've questioned all my axioms and discovered none without assumption, no matter my mental gymnastics. Perhaps I use the lack of knowing as some crutch to be less eager to pursue my ends. Maybe it's fear dressed as rationalizations. Alternatively, it could be other human impulses masquerading as reason. Regardless, the regression of thought to investigate such trivial matters is too tiresome, and seemingly pointless if truth is the goal. Even if the truth was possible, I think my drive for such things has long passed. The arbitrariness of even desiring truth, another flavor of human drives given by causality dressed as rationality, or God if you like. I don't desire to live in a body of drives, in which one drive leads to the next because the last fulfillment fell short. I'm not content to say the least, nor do I know where to look for such contentment. A lost soul, or an evolutionary failure? Perhaps both. I had a dream that managed to lock away the pessimistic thoughts and attitudes, and left me with unreasonable happiness. Experiences that would often cause fear, anxiety, and pessimistic ruminations were somehow simply unadulterated happiness. I wonder how often some people are capable of entering this state of careless happiness, without any foresight, or senseless unhappiness to ruin it. The dream may have been the happiest I have ever been. In such a lopsided nonsensical dream, where nothing entirely made sense, but everything was all right. If only that dream could become my reality, and this reality a distant dream. Relentless torment caused by the cognitive dissonance of wanting to escape but remaining in the cell with a key in hand is something that has left me with only empty rationalizations for my incapabilities. Maybe it's because of my survival instinct, maybe because I'm addicted to the pleasures of life, maybe it's all God's will, maybe it's the Matrix, maybe this, and maybe that. All tiresome thoughts that seemingly exist only to pass the time. I tried to, myself again, partial, to be exact. Before I knew it I was standing, I thought to myself my neck hurts. I must have lost consciousness briefly, because I don't remember standing. But when I opened my eyes I was standing again. I feel better once I attempt and get close. But that is often short-lived, as my happiness and aspirations are. I counted the seconds, to time my last thoughts, but that just makes my fear worse. I won't do that again. I could rave about my misgivings but it's all been said before. What my mind needs and those like me is true silence. I prolong the inevitable. And I ask myself why. I've come to the conclusion it's cowardness, my addictive repetitive nature, and my inability to access or instant, method I can stomach. I look like what I am, a man-child, and I became it far before I looked like it. How odd is it to look exactly as you feel? Vice after vice, a life of prolonged shortening. I wonder if I can procrastinate my decision to, long enough to succumb to my addictions or even worse an unexpected natural death. To avoid my desire to commit is a slow and miserable death. One where the ultimate outcome remains the same and my prolonged life is unsatisfying and soon forgotten. I've done all I could, and not what I could not. And yet I remain unsatisfied. The duplicitous nature of man, how grand his ability to misunderstand. He shapes the world his ideals and feelings in hand. He thinks it best that no one undress. That everyone take the test. That everyone try their best. And that after everyone shall lay to rest. I've taken the test, I've remained dressed, I've tried my best, now can I rest? At some point I decided that one of my fundamental axioms was non-existence was greater than existence. I internalized my feelings, then rationalized them. An utter waste of time the latter was. A salad dressing of rationality placed over my feelings with a linguistic likeness to truth swirling in a bowl of uncertainty. All for the sake of making the salad seem like the right choice. Where am I? You've died. Why am I still alive? I put freedom around my neck for the nth time this year and let myself sink. My consciousness wavers. I feel fear. I stand. I sleep. I wake. Again. I feel fear. I stand. A sickness in my stomach from the vice of the day before. I make my way to relieve myself, to no avail. The same question returns, why am I still here? I don't respond, because I already know. I hurry down the brightly lit hallway, passively listening for any sounds as the air in my ankle joints cracks with each step, hoping to reach my room without someone saying, "You just woke up," or "You can't live like this," or "Have you found a job yet?" I arrive. The mechanical hum of the fan fills my room in early November, masking the world outside. I see my distraction machine, intact and awaiting my commands. I sit in front of the machine, seemingly looking through it, and think, I never had a grand moment of collapse. No explosion of awakening. Just a long slog day after day, my feelings toward life nearly the same, my reasons barely changed. My path makes perfect sense to me, and yet it made no sense to them. As this thought permeates my mind, I hear the local Catholic elementary school bus and the overlapping voices of children outside my window, the same school bus that brought me to and from school many years ago. I think about why the words of the devoted priests and teachers never stuck with me, why they never meant anything worth remembering, why it all felt like busy work and convenient lies even then. Did I intuitively know what others were raised to hide or forget? Perhaps what I think I know and what I thought I knew then was nothing in the face of most children's joy. Perhaps the fault is in my inability to simply be happy in the moment and my ability to foresee my future, or rather the lack of it. Where some may see the futility of life, and are all the better for it, I seen it and was everything but paralyzed from it. At times I do myself the displeasure of seeing myself from others' eyes, or so I tell myself. I see my frail stature, my shifting eyes, my visible discomfort seeping through my social facade. I hear the disdain in their words. Their pity in their reluctance. Their anger and frustration in caring pleas. Their disappointment in failed expectation. Their justification in beratement. I see how my disinterest in life eats at them, and they've seen I've grown too tired to care.